All right, we're back again. HJ Platinum Podcast. We're here with my man Rodney Hicks. We got to do some big things today. Rod, I appreciate you, my brother. We
Yes,
almost got the
sir.
new year started. We
Yeah,
almost there.
December 31st. This is New Year's Eve. We're about to get it cracking.
So I'm talking about, man. Let's get this thing moving. Well, first of all, this podcast is brought to you by HJ Platinum Realty, where we help you with all your buying and selling needs in anywhere in California. So let's kick this thing off with Rodney. Basically, we're talking about the 2023 year in review. What's the good? What's the bad? First things first. I want to, it's going to be kind of a Q&A with Rodney. We're going to go back and forth. The biggest thing I want to talk about, Rod, for you, man, what was the biggest win for you this year in 2023? What do you see as the biggest win for Mr. Rodney Hicks? Actually, Rodney Hicks is an agent for HJ Platinum Realty as well, so it's a big thing as well. But Rodney, as far as the year goes, man, what was the big thing for you this year?
Joining HJ Platinum Realty, really.
Okay.
I can see the future of real estate being a positive thing that a lot of people want to get into, but if you don't have the right team, it's going to be a struggle. And
Yes,
I
sir.
felt a year prior, 2022, when I talked to you about it, I said, hey, what's a good way for me to get a side hustle going? He said, well, I need somebody on my team. I'm about to start my own real estate agency. I'm about to be a broker. It'd be nice if you had your license. I jumped right on it.
Yes, sir.
So for me, being a part of the team and everybody that's out there that's on the team, I feel like it's going to be a win-win situation. So I'm really excited about that. That's one. The other thing that I'm also doing is I'm also running a nonprofit, Fourth Foundation, because I was in the military for 23 years. It helped me to see the need to help veterans, their families, and the community at large. So those are the two things for me that are right up there. But I can't forget the most important thing in my life is my family, and taking care of my son, who's down in Southern California right now, is with me for the new year. And anytime I can do my best to be a good father and support my kids. I got a 24-year-old and a 19-year-old that are now into the adult world. And as they go through, I can guide them the best way I can. So really, those are the three things that I'm really focused on right now.
I love it. Hey, so what are the biggest challenges the biggest challenges the veterans face right now? What do you say that something that we can help with as far as anything you need from the
for veterans? For me, the best understanding is there's a before, during, and after. The before is before you get into the military, is understanding the best way to go about getting into the military. Finding a really good recruiter is essential. Once you get in, understanding what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, how you navigate your career is important. And then at the end, when you get out, what that looks like if you do the 20 years or however many years that you do becoming a veteran, that's important. So we guide people on three different levels. As a nonprofit, I'm looking at the occupation that you may need when you get out of the military that you plan on doing, where you plan on living, your residence, the training that you may need coming out of the military, which should be minimal if you did your career right, and then the health aspect, the disability that you may qualify for when you get out. And for me, my disability became 40% as a rating, which helps as an income that I get to be able to do what I'm doing now, explore real estate, run a nonprofit, and still have a 9-to-5 while taking care of my son and my two daughters.
I love it. So for those people who want to help and support Ford Foundation, how can they help? Or what can they? Is there a website they can go to? How can they?
There is a website. The website's in transition. Pardon the interruption. That's another online that you can look at. Fourthfoundation.com, www.fourthfoundation.com is the one that's coming in. Prior to that was fourthfound.com. So either way, it's www.forthfoundation, FORTH, no U. This is fourth, like moving forth, foundation.com, or the old in transition website that I had was Fourth Found without the foundation. It was just Fourth Found. And you can go on. There's PayPal on there. You can donate. Whatever you can helps. We don't put any stipulations on how much you can. I would rather have you become a member when you come in or a sponsor in some way, shape, or form. And that way we can have dialogue and transition from there to doing events and different things along with HJ Platinum Realty.
I love it. And that's the website at the bottom right there, fourthfoundation.com. That's it, correct?
Yes.
I love it. So you guys can help them out. If we can support the veterans, that's great. And help Rodney with the nonprofit. I think that's amazing. I love it. Well, thank you for all your hard work, and we appreciate your service, my brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So first things first, man, let's get off to the heavy subjects. The first subject is, what was the best movie that you can remember in 2023? What was your best movie? What would you say flew off the page? Or was there one that you thought that was
I've watched a lot of movies this year, and the one that stood out for me was a couple of movies.
Okay.
And those two movies were Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
And The Woman King. I think that was about a little bit over a year ago. But in a year's time, I want to say, I think that was 2022. But Wakanda Forever for me was my movie that I wanted to see. It wasn't as impactful as the first one, but I felt it was still a good movie.
Yeah.
I've heard different things about how Ryan Coogler, and I think even possibly from himself, he wanted to go another direction initially. He did what he did to serve the purpose of Disney, which is okay. I still think the story was impactful. I like the inclusiveness of other cultures. And for me, it can transition anywhere from there. So he did what he was supposed to do. It was very entertaining. There were some spots that I thought was kind of corny, but it's a Disney movie. It is what it is. It was still impactful for me because there was some good subject matter in there that specifically Black culture could relate to, and the world over could relate to. And those are the type of movies that really impact me. For the most part, I like watching comedies, but as far as an impact movie for the year, that was probably the most impactful movie. If you come up with another movie that you can remind me of, that's the only one that really just sticks out to mind.
Okay. No, and I like that one. That to me, Wakanda Forever was a good one, man. I actually liked it too. Now, Ryan Coogler is a Sac State grad, if I'm not mistaken.
State graduate.
He ended up coming out with he went to school with some of the guys, and I guess he's an alumni. Is he from the Sacramento area? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that one up.
All right, so for you, that's good to that I like to hear that. So my boy Rodney, this was it, huh? So this is your movie, the Wakanda Forever. That was your top movie of the year. That's the top movie for Rodney for the year. I like that one, man. That was a good one. I definitely it was nostalgic because we're missing, our Chadwick Boseman. It was kind of tough for me to watch that one, but I definitely enjoyed that.
I'm so glad you said that. That reminds me, I just got done watching his last movie that they dedicated to him too.
Okay. Which one was that one?
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Okay. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah. Check that out. And you get a chance support on that movie. If I'm not mistaken, that was produced by Denzel.
Okay. I got to check that one out. For me, my top movie this year was Air. That Michael Jordan. It wasn't a Michael Jordan movie.
I totally forgot about that.
It wasn't. You know, it's funny. It wasn't a Michael Jordan movie, but it like, man, it was the Michael Jordan movie. If you know what I mean.
I get
That thing was good, man. I didn't know what to expect when I watched the movie. And Viola Davis, she acted her behind off, man. Matt Damon was good. Ben Affleck was good. I thought it was top to bottom. I thought that was a great movie. But again, it was real. It's based on the story of Michael Jordan and how Nike could have been irrelevant, but they took a gamble on Mike. It took a gamble on Mike, and it paid off in like tremendously. And I think it just goes to show in life, like you got to take a risk, and it kind of boils back to real estate. You got to take that risk to get any kind of results. And this was a gamble, but it was a good gamble. It was a good gamble.
So the one thing I liked about it, or one of many things that I liked about it, number one, Chris Tucker was in it. I thought he acted his butt off. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, your girl, man, I don't know why I can't think of her name right now. Viola Davis. Her playing the mother just spoke volumes to me, just watching her be it as impactful as the story goes.
Right.
In his becoming a part of Nike. And it was them taking a chance on Nike as well. So it wasn't just a one-way street. It was a two-way street. And I like how they made it look like that from Michael Jordan's standpoint. I like the fact that they didn't show his face.
Yeah. Well, I think Mike probably had some. Remember how back in the day he wouldn't let you have his number or his name, and you can have his number but not his name in the game. So Mike is slick like that, man. You got to pay Mike. You got to pay him.
Right. And of course, they had a outstanding cast. Matt Damon and all of them doing their thing. So
that was dope. That was a good one. That was a good one. No, I definitely enjoyed that movie. And that brings me to the next one, which was our NBA champs, man. Like last year, man, it was a battle in the NBA finals, just the Western Conference finals. It's like, right, we had Denver versus the Lakers. It seemed like the NBA, that was the game, right? That was the championship match, it felt like. And
the Western Conference?
Yeah, but it felt like for the NBA finals. You know what I mean? Like it felt like that was it, but it wasn't a battle, but that was the game we all looked for. To me, it was Denver was tough, and Jokic and those boys there, man. That was a tough series last year.
So one of the things that I love about Denver and Jokic being who he is and what he is, he made that old school feel be important.
Yeah.
Having a center, a big guy doing exactly what he does, and then some, be as impactful on the league realistically.
Oh yeah.
And that in and of itself was just fun to watch, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they didn't have an answer for him. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, realistic as a baller. But I mean, when you got a guy, and when you got at least two guys outside of your main guy that can score regularly, consistently, you're vying for championship all day long, and that's what they had.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Well, I'm not gonna pull this out too long because this is the first podcast we've done, and I want to just talk about the real estate. Obviously, want to kind of get through some stuff, but about the real estate. So this year, we had some stuff in real estate, man. It felt like things was going crazy, right? They felt like everybody kept talking about the real estate collapse, and if the rates was going crazy, interest rates 8%. You were in this real estate game pretty much the whole year for the most part of the year. What was your take on the real estate market as you saw it this year?
As a newly indoctrinated to real estate agent, I'm on the sidelines watching things happen just so I can understand. Let me start there.
Okay.
Because not knowing where the interest is for buyers and how to get them engaged is a learned process. And I'm glad I have you as a mentor and all the rest of the guys, Dave Woods and all of them, helping along, giving us the insight on how to be impactful for these buyers. Obviously, with the high interest rate, buyers are like, yeah, I don't think I want to go in right now. I want to wait till it comes down. And the one thing that I know is when the interest rate goes down, everybody and their mama wants to buy a house, and they're starting to, then you got to battle with the people that want to do investing of houses. And now, as far as I know, the corporate world is starting to buy up real estate, which makes it even harder for mom and pop first-time buyers and so on to engage in even just getting into a house or trying to do their own investment in real estate. So the whole, where's the economy going, the interest rate being what it is, it's a scare for everybody. And we're trying to navigate through that as a real estate agency to assure people it's okay to get it now. As a matter of fact, the best time is to get it now. So when it does change, when the market does flip back to buyer situation, you can, as you used to tell me, what do you call
Refinance?
Refinance.
Yeah, no, and you make a good point, but everybody's situation is a little bit different, right? And so you being kind of new to real estate, you can also kind of put yourself in the shoes of a first timer. You're not a first time buyer, but as a buyer, right? So as a buyer, or potential investor, this market it's a different market, right? Because there's a lot of variables in play. The rates are higher.
Right.
This year was rough because the rates were high, but the prices of real estate didn't go down. Like the prices stayed high this year, which is really, real estate's usually, historically been a seesaw, right? When the prices go up, rates go down, prices go up, rates go up, prices go down. Well, this year rates went up, prices went up. It's like, all right, we'll catch you. So it's kind of weird, and so a lot of times these buyers were kind of sitting on the fence, and I understand because at some point it has to give. The market has to give a little bit, and it just wasn't. It was unforgiving this year. And there's some scenarios where it made sense to buy. But not for everybody, it wasn't. For everybody, it didn't. But I am a firm believer of owning property. If you got a chance, if you're not owning, I'm a firm believer you should own something as opposed to throwing it away in rent. Just find the right deal. You can always find whatever market it is. There's always a deal for you. You just got to find it.
Right.
Everyone won't be there.
Here's what I also heard was an issue. Back in the day when we bought a house, your income to debt ratio was different. Back in the day when you bought a house, your percentage of what you would pay on a house was closer to 15 to maybe 20 to 25%. Now, in order for you to get in a house, that percentage is going up to what you're paying on your mortgage. And most people aren't going to be able to afford a house because now they have to fix that. I got to make more money just to get a lower mortgage rate.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of a tricky situation, right? So right now, aside from 2008, right, it seems to be easier. It's like the easiest time to get into a house because to buy a house with all these down payment assistance programs, with all this FHA money, all this federal money that they're throwing at you to get into a house, like you can get in a house for nothing. It's almost cheaper sometimes in some situations to get a house than an apartment. Right. You know what I mean? And so it does make it challenging.
That's always been a thing for as
right.
Far as
it's crazy, right? Which it's baffling. Where you're like, why is it cheaper to buy? But most people don't know that, right? They don't know that. Oh, I paid $4,000. I bought me a house. It was $6,000 to get my apartment, right? Whatever. Like that's crazy. With all these seller concessions and DPA down payment assistance programs, it's been amazing. But that's just the nature of the market. And that 2023 was that was kind of crazy. It was a culmination of a lot of crazy things with the rates being high, the market being high, inventory was at a historic low. We didn't have a lot of inventory out there. And so it was weird, man. It was just kind of like, but it was also like, it was like geographically different. Like certain places in the Bay Area was different than Sacramento. Sacramento was different than San Francisco. San Francisco was different than Clear Lake. Everything had a different, like a feel to it where you're like, each market had their own identity. Cause I could tell you in the height of the crazy market, Vallejo was crazy. It was moving. They were selling houses left and right. It was still a multiple bid situation. It was going crazy down there. It was just
you
the way
talking
the
about for
nature
this past year, for 2023?
2023. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I'm not gonna keep us too much longer. So I just want to get into it. So we kind of get a chance to see 2023. I'm glad it's over. I'm excited to start 2024. But the question is as 2024 approaches, which it's New Year's Eve, so we got about a few hours left before 2024 kicks off. What is your thoughts on the housing market in 2024? Or do you
just listening to what's being said on Instagram, on the news, on cable, on satellite TV and radio? Supposedly, it's going to tank. Everything's going to go to hell in a handbasket. The economy is going to take a dump sometime this coming year, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say it does. What's going to be the fail-safe for the average person to be able to weather the storm? Your job, your education, your vocational training, and being very well versed with the internet and how you can make money through the internet, legitimate money, right? Mm-hmm. So if you don't get into tech in some way, shape, or form online and have some kind of passive income, you're going to struggle, which means in most cases, people are going to need to buddy up, find roommates, and start stacking the best way they can. I'm trying to educate people on, hey, if you guys are going to buy a house together. If you can, partner up with some people, that's the best way you're going to be able to get it done. I know a couple came through HJ Platinum, and they were very hesitant because of their dynamic of how they wanted to buy the house, but it seemed like they wanted to wait. Well, those that wait find themselves probably in a harder state going forward. Now you're going to have to start competing with everybody as opposed to a few people. So if you come to us looking for a house, if you come to us looking for a way to buy or sell, we're going to give it to you straight. We're going to give you the ins and outs. We're going to educate you. And even if you're not ready to buy or purchase, we'll help put you in a position so later on down the road, you'll be ready to do it at the very least. And if you have those kind of systems set up, those kind of resources set up, 2024 shouldn't be too much of an issue. The only thing that's going to be opposite of that is what they do in the government legislatively.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. I mean, 2024 is they're talking. I'm hearing the same thing. They're talking. All the rumblings are saying that it's going to be a market crash and things are going down. And but one thing we know for certain is that nobody really knows. That's what we do know, right? I can tell you this: I am noticing price decreases. The prices are going down. They're starting to. We're seeing lower prices across the board, and so because of that, I'm seeing homes for $375. I'm talking houses, not condos. 400, right. 425. Which those are a thing of the like during this year, like 2023, we hardly saw those prices, especially in the Sacramento area. So we're starting to see these homes come back down again to some normal prices. The rates have went down a little bit. I think they're like 6.6 or something. Last time I checked, they're getting better. So, I mean, we got some good things to look forward to, and the prices keep going down. It's going to incentivize buyers to hop in. But again, we just got to kind of get ready for what happens. I'm excited. We'll keep these things rolling. And Rodney, I know you're starting your own podcast soon. What's the name of your podcast, Rodney?
Well, the podcast is multidimensional because we do sports, we do social, anything that starts with an S. We do social commentaries. What else? We do sports, social. There was like two other ones that we do, and it happens on Sunday. We call it Speak on It Sunday, and it'll be consistent. And we'll probably start off with sports next Sunday, and you can find us on live365.com TCB radio. Put that in your search. That's live365.com and search for TCB, taking care of business, throwbacks, classics, and beats radio, TCB radio.
Okay. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. And that's right there. That's where it's
That's
at.
perfect right there. Live365.com. And then all you have to do is put in the search TCB radio, and you can hear the music going on right now. I got on auto DJ. And like I said, on Sundays, we'll have a podcast or what I call a Speak On It Sunday. It usually lasts about a half an hour to an hour, and it'll go right back to music. So, and we got all genres of music. So
I love it. We're going to keep this thing rolling, but I appreciate you doing this, Rodney. We'll keep this going, and the podcast I have is going to kind of similar in fashion. We do discuss a lot of things with careers, and really career choices for people, kids, youth, adults, and just what pitfalls and landmines to watch out for, depending on what you're doing in life, whether college makes the most sense, whether it doesn't, whether vocation makes the most sense, whether finding a trade or a skill set. Either way, find your journey, find your road, and let's help you get there. And we want to make sure that everyone's not chasing that pipe dream. And so we're in the same boat. But yeah, man, I appreciate your time, Rodney, and thank you guys for being a part of this podcast. If we're gonna have it again once a week, HJ Platinum Podcast, and we appreciate you. Happy New Year, everybody!
Very much. I appreciate you. Happy New Year to everybody. Shout out to Hidden Empire Film Group and Climb, the nonprofit organization doing big things.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. All right, Rob. Well.